Good thing is, all happened to you. And I'm asking Jeff. Was nice. You know, look at examining cancer always. Keep on everything is looking at for me. If they're getting with the student, I can always do that my phone later. Just nice. That's right. Well, just you know, I'm actually flashing out with us there. So, straight. We're still screening this. But I can watch. Zoom in a little bit. All right. That's about right. With them. That's the and she's the cover been very much. Look on your, I'll be online this time. Well, but that's for, yeah, yeah. It's about, well, so, oh, I did not know that. So, so tonight, uh, also, there are, how do I, in other words, this is what I think follows my mouth and I, well, the reason is, I'm trying to, yeah, the boy, that, that's, the phone. Yeah, yeah. You know, there's where the one that always did. I'm yes, six. Oh, right. So,
Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson and we're getting ready to bring you Colfax High School Viking Girls Basketball. Tonight, the Colfax Vikings, who are coming off a 71-55 loss to the Eau Claire Regis Ramblers, will take on the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks, who are opening their 2024-2025 season. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Blackhawks and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game between Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are coming off a 71-55 loss to the Eau Claire Regis Ramblers back on Tuesday, while the Blackhawks are opening their 2024-2025 campaign. Now, in that loss to Regis, the Vikings played tough early and even leading through much of the first half. Then the cold shooting bug hit and points were hard to come by. In addition, the Vikings had no answer for the 30 points by Rambler Ella Mae Cooper. Now, leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was junior guard Jordan Bovey, who hit on 8 field goals, 5 of which were from three-point land, and went 6 for 10 from the free throw line for 28 points.
Goodell with it, hands it off to Bovey, puts up the three. She hit the three! Jordan Bovey with the three.
Points. Kason Goodell hit on 2 3-pointers and went 3 for 4 for 9 first half points.
Rebound, strong rebound taken down by Shipman. 3-pointer on the way, and that's good!
Kason Goodell from long range.
Points, but was held scoreless in the second half. Now, tonight, the Vikings are taking on the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks. Last season, the Blackhawks made a trip to the WIAA state tournament in Green Bay before bowing out in the semifinals to Madison Edgewood 62-29. The Blackhawks finished the season with a 22-7 overall record and were 12-2 in the Middle Border Conference, which earned them the title of conference champions. Now, last season, like this season, the Blackhawks opened their season against the Vikings, and the Vikings came out on top 43-36. Baldwin-Woodville is returning a somewhat experienced team as they only need to replace 3 seniors from last season's team. Now this year, the Blackhawks look to be led by 5'7" senior Haley Jort, who last season led the team in scoring, averaging over 10 points per game, as well as nearly 5 rebounds per game. Also look for 6' senior Maggie Jensen to contribute, as last season she averaged over 9 points per game and 7 rebounds per game. Other major contributors would include 5'9" senior Haley Cota, who last season contributed nearly 7 points per game, and 5'8" senior Haley Maurer, who grabbed 4 rebounds per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today, once again, we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. And Coach, in just a few minutes, we'll be tipping off the 2024-2025 Vikings home season when they take on the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks. But before we get to that game, last Tuesday, the Vikings sort of stumbled out of the gate with a 71-55 loss at the hands of the Regis Ramblers. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, I thought we did a lot of good things. It's always hard when you play a tough team in your first game, but we play tough teams for a reason, and we want to be good at the end of the year. And I thought it was a good test for us right away. We got a ton of shots off. We just, struggled to make things, as a group, minus Jordy. She really was able to knock down some shots and kind of keep us in it. Otherwise, our shooting percentage, without her was not very good. So we needed, I talked to the girls just need, we shot 31 threes, so we need to maybe find, a little bit more of a balance and try to find some easier percentage looks at the hoop. I think will benefit us. But overall, I thought, we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, to my untrained eye, it seemed almost as though the inexperience of this year's Vikings showed, as once they fell behind, they started to seem to force shots and ended up with a lot of one and done offensive possessions. Your comments about that?
I disagree. I thought we got a lot of good looks. There was, an inside out, you got to shoot or shot fake. That's the philosophy and the offense that we run. So I was impressed with, even though they, they weren't necessarily making as many as I know that they'd like to, they kept trying. So, I think the thing that hurt us the most was just they shot 55% from the floor in twos. We had a hard time containing the Cooper girl, and it seemed like, when we had her help, then they didn't slide their feet, and she was able to get quite a few easy good looks. But, she's a great player, and she was shooting the ball well. And, of course, they had a girl shoot 50% from three in that strong box. So I'd love to play him again. I hope we get the chance to play him again, because that means we'll meet up in the playoffs. But, I think it's a team that we can play with, and we're staying positive, and there was way more good than bad for sure.
Yeah, in fact, you mentioned the Cooper girl with her 30-point performance. And when the Vikings did step out and stop her, somehow they found Reichert in the corner, who was just deadly from there. And that was a combination. You guys, a lot of teams have had a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, it's hard when somebody's, knocking down shots and you're supposed to be in help position, and then, you got to close out hard. And I thought, we lost her a couple of times, that she got some pretty easy looks that I don't think she should have gotten. But, hats off to her. She was making them. So.
You mentioned it. There were some positives that the Vikings did. The 28 points you hinted at by Jordan Bovey, as well as you had some solid help come off the bench, and some of your younger players who may have been their first varsity game for a few of them. Your thoughts about some of those kids?
Yeah, like I said, when you lose 5 seniors, you're always trying to replace, that experience, that understanding of the game. And when you have underclassmen who are stepping on the floor, who've never been in that scenario, especially at that high of a level, I thought it was a great learning experience. I thought, I was impressed with, they didn't look panicked or scared, or, like they didn't want to be out there. So I thought it was a really great experience, for our underclassmen coming off the bench, and even for our starters. Some of those have been in that position before, but some haven't. And, if they didn't have a prominent, varsity role last year, they're going to learn quick, because like I said, our schedule is tough, and we play good teams, and there's no room for, feeling sorry for yourself, and just got to keep plugging away.
We'll talk about a tough schedule tonight. The Vikings are taking on the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks, who are opening their season, but that follows a state tournament appearance last year, and the vast majority of their roster is back this year. What can you tell us about the Blackhawks and the challenges that they present?
Yeah, like you said, I think they have a core group of seniors, or now seniors, who are, experienced and seasoned and play in the tough middle border, and it's definitely going to be a challenge. I still think we can definitely play with them. I think one of the biggest things is, against Regis, we weren't very good on the rebound, so we're going to have to make sure that we box out first. They have size on us in quite a few positions, so we have to make sure we try to keep them off the boards, and just keep looking to get better. So
now the Blackhawks appear to be are planning on being led by a couple of seniors, Haley Jordan, Maggie Jensen. They are the returning 1-2 punch on that team. They lead the team in scoring and rebounding. One leads in scoring, the other leads in rebounding, and in the scoring leaders number 2 in rebounding, and so on. But what do the Vikings need to do to keep those two under control?
Yeah, like I said, there was time I was not impressed with our ability to box out. So that's something that, we were, focusing on these last couple days in practice and making sure that you go make contact first, and then go get the ball. They're both really great players. So our help defense is going to have to be better. Our ability to close out on shooters is going to have to be better. So, like I said, we just have to keep working together as a team. I felt like, everything that we didn't do well on Tuesday was at least things that, we could improve on and fix, which is good. So I'm anxious to see then, after we got knocked down, are we going to get back up? And, I'm always telling my kids, I'm happy with whatever the outcome is, as long as, you're a great teammate, you don't give up and you play to the buzzer. So as long as, we can do that, I can live, losing games because we couldn't make shots. So that's going to happen. I am looking to hopefully try to get some more higher percentage looks and see if we can, there was a couple times I thought we shot it pretty quick, as maybe an open 3, but at the same time, I feel like we kind of settled a little bit where we could have, let the offense run a little bit more and try to get a easier look at the basket. So we'll see if we can do that tonight.
Well, Coach Sarar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can get right back into their winning tradition.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The 2024-2025 season is just underway, so we don't have much scores for the Dunn St. Croix Conference as of yet. In fact, all the scores we have are non-conference games. Those games include, in addition to the Vikings losing to the Regis Ramblers 71-55, the Elkmound Mounders defeated Prescott 57-45 on Tuesday, and at the same time, the Elmwood Plum City Wolves were topped by Clayton 41-22. Now tonight the Vikings are getting ready to take on the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks, who play out of the Middle Border Conference. The Vikings are hoping to repeat last season's 43-36 win over the state tournament qualifying Blackhawks, while the Blackhawks would like to begin a build towards another state tournament run. So the stage is set for some exciting high school girls basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV. In just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we bring you all the action of tonight's girls' game between the Colfax Vikings and the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slaton's Technology Services can help. when your computer decides to not cooperate. It can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Girls Basketball is on the air.
Back over to Sierra Shipman. She spins at the top of the key, takes it into the lane, lays it up and puts it in. Sierra Shipman with her first 2 points of the night.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Girls Basketball.
Then over to the left side to Jordan, lays it up and puts it in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings as they battle their way through the Dun St. Croix Conference.
To Goodell from three, she'd hit the three!
And now, out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking Basketball.
And good evening, and welcome to Colfax High School. And we have a little confusion here on the scoreboard. Oh, I see what's happening. More like that. It's what we want. Prickles, Hero Lonnie, Dan Pinchow, and Michael Christensen on camera tonight. Colfax Vikings takes on the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks. Be interesting to see how many of these girls have had to make the trip back from Madison today as the boys had peak in baseball championships for Division 4, and they swept just a little in a dramatic comeback attempt. And it was St. Catherine ready to turn it over to the public address announcer, Mike Odell. It will present Max Ransom, as well as the introduction of players. And that was ready for basketball action on NLWN-TV. With that excellent national anthem. Anyway, you tell us in tonight's game.
Yeah, here's the starters for the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks. They're going to go senior number 12, Haley Coda. Senior number 15, Haley Jordan. Senior number 23, Maggie Jensen. Senior number 33, Kylie Castle, and junior number 35, Shanna Fritz. For the Vikings, they're going to go with senior number 4, Kason Goodell. Junior number 12, Jordan Bovey. Junior number 30, Sierra Shipman. Junior number 34, Bryn Sikora. And junior number 44, Claire Hajdukovic.
And I can see that the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks have a bunch of numbers that are not the same as what we have. So we're going to double check those. And
yeah, both Baldwin-Woodville's first game here. And Colfax will get started their second game of the season Tuesday night there at Regis. And back here, Colfax tonight.
And I'm looking. Oh, there she is. Shannon Fritz has a different number than what Dan had said.
Okay, number 21.
Yes, as well as Haley Coda is number 10. That makes life confusing when we're looking for different numbers.
Yeah.
But the Blackhawks are on the floor. And again, that's Coda, Jort, Jensen, Kestel, and Fritz. And we have Maggie Jensen jumping center. For the Vikings, it's Goodell, Bovey, Shipman, Sikora, and Hajdukovic. And Clara Hajdukovic is jumping center for the Vikings. And the tip is controlled by the Blackhawks. Jort brings it between the circles. Over into the left corner, that's Maggie Jensen. Back out high. They swing it around to the top of the key, then down to Jensen. Driving into the lane, top of the key, and that was Fritz looking for a shot. She gets it over to Coda. Back out to Fritz, and the shot is no good. Rebound taken down and out of the traffic by Goodell. Kason Goodell feeds it off to the left side to Shipman. And putting the shot up, and it's no good. That was Sikora with the shot. Pass comes down to the right side by the Blackhawks. Shot from just inside the arc is no good. And the ball gets taken away by the Blackhawks. That was Coda trying to put the shot up, and it gets knocked out of bounds. Good defensive play by the Vikings that time.
Yeah, it could have been easy too, and Kason Goodell got back.
Shipman had a bit of a flat tire there, but she got that repaired. And the ball comes in to Fritz. They get it out to the top of the key, then over to the left side. Back out to the top of the key. This is Fritz with it.
Colfax in man.
Over to Jensen, and the shot goes up and in. Blackhawks score the first points of the game. And down the floor comes Goodell. Gets it over to Hajdukovic, feeds it into the lane, and the ball got tipped away. It was intended for Bovey, and the Blackhawks come away. Blackhawks are a team that made it to state last year, and most of that roster is back. Feeding it down underneath, the shot goes up and no good. That was Jensen on the shot. Sikora bringing it down the right side for the Vikings. She feeds it into the lane to Bovey, lays it up, she put it in.
Yeah, good backdoor cut by Bovey.
Jordan Bovey. Blackhawks bringing it across the timeline. That's Jort with it, feeding it down into the lane, laying it up and in. That was Castell. She plays a lot taller than the 5'6" that she's listed. Hajdukovic with it. Dribbling it out high. Feeds it over to Sikora. Sikora drives into the lane. Ball got tipped away. Sikora lands on the ball, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Blackhawks ball. She tried to roll it over to Shipman. Just couldn't accurately do it. 4-2.
Baldwin-Woodville on top. Jort coming across the timeline. Feeds it over to the near side. That's Coda. And then out high to Castell. Then into the lane. The shot goes up. A whistle and foul. Shot was no good. Maggie Jensen on the attempt, and we got a foul. And that's going to be on Sikora. Bryn Sikora with her first team foul. And the shot is up and good by Jensen. Second shot on the way off the iron, no good. Goodell with the rebound. And she brings it through the center circle. Feeding it over to Shipman on the near side. Driving down to the baseline. Tries to pass it across the baseline. Got knocked out of bounds that time by Fritz. So the Vikings inbound. Bovey looking to get it in. She got it over to Goodell. Puts the shot up and puts it in. About an 8-footer from the right baseline. 5-4. Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks on top. They feed it over to the right corner. Back out high to Jort. Then Dakota on the right side. Free throw line extended. Cross court pass to Castell. Then out to Fritz between the circles. Feeds it into the lane. They get it out to Jort. Jort puts it up from 3. No. Sikora with the rebound. And Goodell brings it down the floor. Runs into some traffic. Passes it out to Bovey. Bovey tries to put it up. No good, but she got fouled on the way up. Foul's going to be on Haley Jort. That's her first team foul on the Blackhawks. First shot is up and in. Bovey shot 75% from the line against Regis. And the shot is up. No good. Rebound taken down by the Blackhawks. Fritz with the ball. Feeds it over to the right side. That's Jensen. Then out to Jort. Feeding it into the lane to Coda. She kicks it back out high. And then over to Fritz on the left side. Out high, wide and left to Coda. And they send it over to Fritz. She tries it from 3. And it's off the air, no good. Rebound taken down by Coda, tipped around. And we get a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, it'll probably be on Brent Sikora. Kind of grabbed an arm there.
Trinity Caro is going to the line.
That'll be Britain's second foul.
And the first shot by Caro is up and good. And the second shot is up and good. Blackhawks back on top now, 7-5. 13-14 to go. Goodell across the timeline. They feed it over to the left side, driving down, trying to baseline pass, and it got intercepted. That was Nichols over on the left side. Now they get it to Fritz, and the shot goes up and in by Carroll.
Trinity Carroll's got 4 points.
So Bovey has it, high, wide, and right to Hajdukovic, who tries to pass it to Bovey, hit her down around the shin, and coming away are the Blackhawks, but
Nichols is getting up slowly for the Vikings. Jennifer Maves going to replace Nichols. I think she got a little floor burn that time. That's kind of what it's looking like. Fritz with the ball. Gets it out to Coda. Then down into the corner. And out high down underneath the Coda. They kick it back out. That's Maurer. Then to Caro. To Fritz. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound. And it's tied up.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of Clara Dukovic last game, and she was in there, but her presence wasn't known. And good job by her there getting the jump ball and turnover.
Goodell with it. Feeds it over to Hurlbert and down into Hajdukovic, who got fouled trying to go up. So Clara Hajdukovic at the line. That foul, by the way, is on Borchert for the Blackhawks. That's their second team foul. Clara Hajdukovic's shot is up off the iron, no good. Into the lineup for the Vikings is Shipman, along with Adeline Aker. Shot goes up, and that one's good. 9-6. Vikings trail by 3. Down the floor, long pass. They kick it back out high. This is Jort, and the shot goes up, and it's good. That was actually by Caro, I believe.
Yeah, 7 points for her.
Yeah, three-pointer for Caro from the corner. Maves with it, and tried to throw it over to Aker. Aker didn't know it was coming. Maves threw it where Aker was, but by the time the ball got there, she wasn't anymore. And we have a timeout on the floor. So with a timeout on the floor, 11:26 remaining. It's Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks 12, Vikings 6. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Looking for a team approach to managing your finances? With over 70 years of experience and 12 locations, Derry State Bank has built a reputation for helpful customer service and support. While our service ethic is old-fashioned, our products and services are not. We offer a full range of loan programs as well as online banking, mobile deposit, and transaction alerts to fit your busy lifestyle. Derry State Bank, banking on relationships, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Back here at Colfax High School. As the Blackhawks have the ball. They feed it over to the far side, driving the baseline, putting the shot up. It's no good. That was Castell, and the Vikings come away with the ball. Feed it over to the right side to Bovey. Back out high to Goodell. Then over to the right side to Shipman. Back out to the top of the key to Sikora. Sikora puts up the three, in and out, no good. And down the floor come the Blackhawks. Between the circles. They feed the ball over to Caro and then into the lane to Borchert, and she runs into trouble. Gets it kicked back out to Castell and to Caro. Driving down the baseline is Castell, then out to Caro. Three-pointer on the way is no good. And the ball goes off the Vikings out of bounds. Pass comes in to Caro. Carroll feeds it down underneath. The shot goes up and no good. That was a shot by Jensen. And coming down the floor quickly is Goodell. Feeds it off to Shipman, and she hit the three. Sierra Shipman with three. Brings the Vikings back within three. 9:55 remaining in the first half. Castell with it. Drives into the lane, tries to go up, lost the handle. Fight for it on the floor, and we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Blackhawks. Oda getting ready to inbound the ball. She gets it into Carroll. The shot goes up and bounced around a few times and then dropped through. 14-9. Goodell with it. At the timeline, spins, lost the handle, and down the floor come the Blackhawks. Jort with it. She feeds it across the court to Fritz. Down in the corner, now gets it out high to Coda. Then it's over to Carroll, and the ball gets tipped and taken away by the Vikings. Goodell with it across the timeline. At the top of the key, over to Sikora on the far side. Back to Bovey at the top of the key. Drives into the lane, lays it up. She got fouled. It went off the back of the iron, but she's going to go to the line for two.
Number 11.
That's Trinity Carroll with her first personal. Third team foul on the Blackhawks. Jordan Bovey at the line for two. She's coming off a 28-point performance against Regis. That shot was good. Shot goes up, and it goes through. Off the back of the air, and got a little shooter's roll that time for Bovey.
5 points
Here
for
comes
her.
the Blackhawks. Some pressure by the Vikings. Long pass down the floor. They get it back out to Jensen, who feeds it across over to Fritz. And down into the corner to Jort. Now back out high. Putting on the brakes. Ball gets tapped away, and the Vikings come away with it. Goodell with it. Little shimmy shake move. Drives it in and puts it in. Brings the Vikings to within one. 14-13. Coda with it. Feeds it over to the right side. Shot. That might have been a pass. Either way, nobody was looking for it, and the Vikings come away. Sikora with it. Just outside the arc. Tries to drive in. Gets stopped. Shipman has it. Drives to the lane. Puts it up. It goes through, and the Vikings take the lead. 15-14. And we have a whistle and a timeout being called by the Blackhawks as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Back here at Colfax High School. As the Blackhawks have the ball, Vikings just took a lead, 15-14, 7:50 remaining. Coming down the floor is Shannon Fritz. She takes it over to the right side. Feeds it down into the corner. It got tipped away by Sikora. Pass was intended for Maggie Jensen. but the Blackhawks will retain possession. Jensen has it at the free throw line. Gets it out to Borchert. Borchert feeds it over to the right side to Coda. Coda at the top of the key. Over to Jort on the right. To Fritz and then over to Jensen. Now Fritz has it. Now to Jort. Back out to Coda. Now over to the right side. This is Fritz driving it in and putting it in. 16-15, Blackhawks on top. Vikings have it over on the left side. Trying to throw the ball up, maybe draw a foul was Goodell, but she didn't get the foul and the ball didn't go anywhere near the hoop. And we have a whistle and offensive foul being called.
By Brent Sikora.
So the foul was on Jort.
He'll be here second.
And the fourth team foul. Goodell right through the center circle. Over to the left side to Shipman. Shipman spins, puts the shot up. No, it won't go. She comes away with a loose change and puts it up and in. 17-16, Vikings back on top.
7 points for Shipman.
They feed it down into the right corner. That's Mauer. And they get it back out to the top of the key to Coda. Then over to Jensen. Jensen over to Carroll and then to Coda. Fritz tries it from just outside the arc and no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Sikora or Shipman with the rebound gets it to Goodell, lays it up and in. Down in the corner, it's Carroll, and she tried to pass it in down the baseline and tipped out of bounds by the Vikings. So the Blackhawks feed it in. Carroll with it. Feeds it into the lane. Turnaround putting it up, and that was Coda putting it in. And Bovey couldn't quite get the handle and it bounced inbounds, and she picked it up. She was still standing out of bounds, and ball goes over to the Blackhawks. Vikings up by 1. Shot goes up. It's no good. Rebound hauled down by Sikora. She gets it over to Goodell, who brings it on across the timeline. Spins in the lane. Feeds it out to Bovey. Three-pointer on the way is no good. And then Goodell tries a three. She hit the three. Kaysen Goodell with a three-pointer.
She's got 9 points.
22-18. Vikings by 4. And a turnaround jumper in the lane by Coda is no good. Rebound. Shot goes up. And we're going to get a foul on Shipman. At the line will be Shannon Fritz. First shot by Fritz. In and out, no good. That was a first foul on Shipman, third team foul on the Vikings. 4:43 remaining in the first half. Hajdukovic coming in. And she's replacing Nichols. Shot goes up. No good. Rebound. Chased down by Carroll as the Blackhawks have it. Stopping at the top of the key, now feeding it over to the left side. Cross-court pass to the right side. That's Carroll feeding it into the lane. Shot a little too hard off the glass. Goodell with it. Between the circles, feeds it over to Shipman down underneath to Hajdukovic. Then out to the corner, and the shot goes up no good by Goodell. And the Blackhawks throw the ball away.
Yeah, a little tight defense there by Sierra Shipman. Created turnover.
It kind of split the difference between two Blackhawk girls, and neither one of them thought it was coming to them. So Goodell has it between the circles for the Vikings. Over to Shipman on the left side. Long pass to Hajdukovic down in the left corner. Sikora tried to put it up. Ball got knocked out of her hands. She's looking for something. We got to get a whistle and a jump off. I think that Sikora thought she couldn't dribble in that situation. But since the ball was kind of knocked out of her hands, I think she could have.
Oh, yeah, or call a timeout.
Long pass. Goodell chases it down. Feeds it over to Shipman. Back over to Goodell on the left side. High, wide, and left. Over to Shipman on the right. Down into the right wing. And that's Bovey puts the shot up. No good. Rebound by Shipman. She followed it up and jumped it in. 24-18 Vikings on top.
9 points for Sierra Shipman.
Blackhawks have it. Jensen with it. Feeds it to Coda and then over to Jort. Or check that. That's Carroll. Back out to Jensen. Now Carroll has it on the left side, and the ball went off a foot. I think it went off Shipman's foot. So the Blackhawks will have it. Testel back into the lineup for the Blackhawks. Coda has it on the left side. Jumper is up. No good. Rebound taken down by Bovey. Goodell with it. Between the circles. Feeds it over to Shipman on the left side. Down into the left corner to Hurlburt. Puts up the three off the iron. No good. Long lead pass down the floor to Coda. She puts it up. It goes in, and she got fouled. Foul is going to be on Hurlburt. It's her first person. And the fourth team foul on the Vikings. Shot goes up, and it's in by Carroll.
Coda, right?
I thought it was 11, but you could be right. Especially since 11's not out there right now. Long pass off the glass is no good. Or long shot, I should say. And then the rebound gets tied up, and the ball goes over to the Blackhawks. They come across the timeline. That's Fritz with it. Feeds it out high to Castell. Castell jumper from three is off the glass, no good. And we're going to get a whistle. And it's going to be a foul on the Blackhawks. That's a foul on Castell. She gave a little shove on that rebound attempt. Goodell brings it across the timeline for the Vikings. 2 minutes remaining in half number one. They feed it over to Goodell, then over to Shipman, puts up the three, no good. Rebound taken down by Coda. She's across the timeline. She's at the left elbow and then feeds it down underneath to Jensen. Then out to Castell, and shot from the top of the key is no good. That was Fritz.
Timeout.
And they tried to get it off the player, and the Blackhawks took it and missed the shot, and the Vikings come away. Feeding it out to Shipman. Thought about the three, didn't take it. Now she takes the three off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down, and we're going to get a whistle and foul on Sikora.
Yeah, that'll be her third. So she'll have to sit down.
15 foul on the Vikings. Carroll back into the lineup now for the Blackhawks. Hajdukovic came in for Sikora. Coda with it. High, wide, and left. Feeds it down into the lane, and the shot is up no good by Jensen. Long lead pass to Bovey. She puts it up. Backhanded layup over. She arched her back and put it up, and it went in. Under a minute to go. 26-21, Vikings have it. Ball gets stolen away. Pass attempted for Bovey, and we have a tie-up. It's going to be Viking ball. Bauer checks in for the Blackhawks. For Fritz. High pass comes into Shipman. She loses the handle, gets it out to Hajdukovic, who puts it in. Clara Hajdukovic with two. 28-21, Vikings on top.
She's got 3 points.
Top of the key with the ball, and the pass is an errant one, and the Vikings come away with it. Under 20 seconds remaining. 28-21, Vikings on top by 7. Nichols with it, feeds it over to the near side, back out high to Goodell, 6 seconds. She tried to drive in, Hajdukovic picks it up, and she tried to put up, we get a whistle and a foul. With 1.4 seconds remaining, Clara Hajdukovic to the line, and the foul is on Haley Coda. It's her first personal. And the first shot is up and in. Second shot on the way, off the iron. We got a whistle. A lane violation being called on the Vikings. I think Clara went over the line. So Jensen inbounds the ball, and that's halftime. So the score at halftime is the Vikings 29 and the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks 21. And we'll have Viking halftime coming up right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
All right, today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Clara Hajdukovic. And you're a junior here at Colfax?
Yep.
Okay. And we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Volleyball and track and field.
And what do you do in track and field?
I throw discus and shot put.
Very good. You're in the power sports.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I think I started playing around 3rd, 4th grade, something like that. It's been good. It's allowed me to connect with people in my class and other classes, so it's a good team sport.
Okay, great. What is the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Communication and attitude.
Okay, and both of those can really make the difference between a team that gets it together and a team that, you can't be a bunch of individuals out there. You got to be a team, right?
Yep.
Those are the two keys to it. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I read. I don't know. I read, and then I have other sports that I do during the basketball season.
Okay, all right. What are some of those?
Last year I played club volleyball, and I practiced disc and shot put year round.
Okay, all right. All right, here, this is coming. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Probably a good pie.
A good pie. And what is your favorite kind of good pie?
Cherry or rhubarb.
Okay, and I noticed you said rhubarb and not strawberry rhubarb. And yeah, I'm with you on that. I like strawberry pie, I like rhubarb pie. Don't put them together. Just make it one or the other, right? Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you on that. Burger, brats, or hot dogs?
Probably a burger.
And what do you want on that burger?
Everything.
Put everything. Kitchen sink, everything.
Yep.
Just, if you can put it on there, put it on. All right. Yep. Your favorite color and why?
Green. I don't know. I just like it.
All right. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that superpower might be and why?
Shape-shifting.
Ooh, interesting choice. Why would that be?
Because you can be anything.
Okay. All right. Now, if you had the superpower of shape-shifting, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Clara's superhero name?
I don't know. I don't know. I would have to be named by the people,
Okay. All right. And that might depend on what shape you chose to be at that time. All right. Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Lynx.
Okay, very good. The Minnesota Lynx. How about a favorite collegiate team?
Texas Longhorns.
Okay. All right. And if you could sit down with a sports personality from any time in history and just pick their brain a little bit, who do you think that might be and why?
Caitlin Clark.
Okay. And is there a particular reason why you chose Caitlin?
I think she's kind of leading the sports in the modern world for women. So.
Okay. Very good. That's a pretty good reason. We're talking with Clara Hajdukovic on Viking Profile. And Clara, what are your plans for after high school?
Probably attend a 4-year college for something related to biology.
Okay. How about a shout out to the family?
Just naming them.
That's up to you.
Hi to my sister and brothers.
Okay.
I guess.
Sure, that works. When people come to Viking games, where should they look for you on the floor?
In the post, probably.
Okay. Somewhere down under the basket trying to make something happen down there.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. We want to thank Clara Hajdukovic for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Cool. Catch along with Rick Olson. Here's the scores right now for both teams. For the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks, their leading scorer right now is number 11. She has 9 points, followed by Maggie Jensen with 6, Haley Cota with 5, and Shannon Fritz with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorers right now are number 30, Sierra Shipman, and Kason Goodell. They both have 9 points, followed by Jordan Bovey with 7, and Clara Hajdukovic has 4. 29-21 Colfax.
And it's quite a difference from the performance on Tuesday over at Regis. Here at the end of the first half, the Vikings were seeming to assert themselves and starting to look like the team we expect them to be.
Yeah, their defense has been holding them in this game. They've had some good hands underneath, and which have turned into points on the other end. And last game maybe they tried to do quite a bit of offense and got a little ragged, but they've played good defense and got the lead right now.
And I've noticed not as many ones and dones down the floor for the Vikings. They're being a little tougher on the board.
And we got Clara Hajdukovic involved. She's got 4 points already.
So the Vikings have the ball, and bringing it across the timeline is Goodell. Over to Hajdukovic at the left elbow. Back out high to Bovey. Over to the right side. Trying to drive into the lane with Shipman. We get a whistle. And we got a foul on the Blackhawks. Waiting to see the number. They haven't put it up yet. Inbound pass to Goodell. Oh, that foul was on Castell. It's her second. First team foul. Bovey has it at the right elbow out to Hajdukovic between the circles. Back to Bovey. To Sikora, puts up a 3 off the back of the air. No good. Rebound taken down by the Blackhawks. Down the floor comes Fritz. She gets it out between the circles. That's Castell. Over to Cota. Cota looking for somebody to get open. Then feeds it over to Jensen. Jensen drives towards the lane, feeds it back out high to Fritz. To Castell. Down underneath to Jensen. Back out to Fritz. Then over in the corner. That was to Jort, and the ball got knocked loose by the Vikings, and Then the Blackhawks take it. Driving into the lane, putting up the shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. And Goodell brings it up across the timeline for the Vikings. She fades over to the right side, backs out high. She's in the center circle. Over to Shipman on the left side to Hajdukovic, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Hajdukovic tried to pass it down underneath to Sikora, and we're going to get a foul down there on Shannon Fritz. It's her first personal, second team foul on the Blackhawks. Sikora inbounds it to Goodell, out to Shipman, over to Goodell, to Bovey from three, off the front of the iron, no good. And the Blackhawks come away. Coda with it, feeds it over to Fritz. Then down underneath to Coda driving in, and they can't go down for her, and Goodell comes away with it. Stops at the top of the key. Takes it into the lane, puts it up and in off the glass.
Goodell's got 11 points tonight.
And the Vikings are up by 10. Short with it. Tied up, and Goodell having a tough time with it. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul.
The foul's going to be on Claire Hajdukovic.
She did a lot right on that.
Yeah, good defense. Maybe just a little extra hand in there.
So Castell is going to the line as soon as Goodell finishes tying her shoe. Shot goes up. It's no good. Off the back of the iron. Second shot. Off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound being chased out of there. And we've got a whistle and a jump ball. Sikora had it tied up by Coda. Possession arrow in favor of the Blackhawks. So Coda to inbound. She gets it over to Fritz. In the backcourt, comes across the timeline. Takes it to the elbow and then feeds it over to Castell. Down into the lane. We're going to get a whistle and a jump ball being called. Bovey tied it up before she knocked the ball loose. So the Vikings will have the ball. 15:15 to go. Case and Goodell across the timeline. Hesitates, drives the baseline, tries to put it up. It's no good. Rebound being fought for. Coming away with it are the Blackhawks. But you know, Dan, that's more fighting for it than I saw the other night.
Yeah.
Vikings look like they're ready to play ball tonight. Fritz has it. Feeds it over to Jensen on the left side. Takes it down to the baseline, puts it up, lays it in. 31-23, Vikings on top.
Justin has 8 points.
Goodell with it. Feeds it over to Shipman. Shipman out to Goodell. Tries a three short. And the Blackhawks come away with it. It almost looked more like an alley-oop pass. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Foul's going to be on Bovey. Hitting the floor hard was Fritz. Fritz is going to take a break. And into the lineup for Fritz is Ashlyn Maurer. She's got the ball in the backcourt, comes across the timeline. Feeds it down into the lane, putting it up is Caro, and his shot is no good. And it goes out of bounds. Vikings ball. Rebound was being tipped around. Last one to tip it were the Blackhawks before it went out of bounds. And Case and Goodell up across the timeline. Feeds it over to Bovee on the left side. Out high to Nichols. Then to Goodell. Out to Bovee, top of the key. Three-pointer off the back of the iron. No good. And right into the hands of Maurer. Then to Jort. Or not Jort. That's Coda. Out high to Jensen. We're going to get a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, that'll be Brendan Sikora's fourth.
And quickly checking in is Hurlburt. Layla Hurlburt.
Yeah, there's going to be a little height advantage here for Hurlburt, and she'll have to work hard on number 23, Maggie Jensen.
Ball comes into Jort. Now they get it over to Jensen. Out to Carroll. Then to Maurer. To Jensen. Over to the left side. This is Jort with it. Feeds it into the lane to Carroll. Carroll back to Jort. Trying to run a backdoor give and go. And the Vikings come away with the ball. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul.
Number 15.
That's Jort. And it's her third. Third team foul on the Blackhawks. Team fouls are even at 3 each. Goodell across the timeline. High, wide, and right. Now she drives down the right side of the lane. Spins, puts it up, no good. Rebound. Taken down by the Blackhawks. Coda with it. Feeds it into the lane to Jort, but she can't find the handle. She overlet her a little bit. They took Fritz out of the gym with a towel over her shoulder. So trainer's going to take a look at her. Bovee with the ball. Over to Nichols. Nichols out to Bovee. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound being battled for, and we're going to get a whistle, and I'm sure it's going to be on Shipman. And it is.
Her second.
And the fourth foul on the Vikings. Coda has it, high, wide, and right. To Jensen. Over to Carroll, stops at the free throw line. Double teamed, now feeds it back out high. That's Coda, and she drives in, and we're going to get a whistle and a blocking foul on Hurlburt. Dad, be careful with those eye rolls. You can get yourself dizzy doing that.
I don't know.
Second foul on Hurlburt. Shot goes up. It's no good off the iron. And down the floor come the Vikings. Feeding it down to Hurlburt. Lays it up, and it won't go. It hit everything but the middle of the rim. Coda with it. Hits it over to Jensen. Now feeds it over to Carroll. Then to Jort on the right side. She's on the right wing. Takes it to the free throw line. Feeds it over to Jensen. Then a shot from the corner. It's up and good. 3-point shot by Maurer. 31-26. Vikings by 5. Feeding it over to the left side. Hurlburt with a 3. It's off the iron. No good. Jort feeds it over to Jensen. Jensen to Maurer. Maurer for 3. No, off the front of the iron. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Bovee came away with the ball, and I think she got grabbed in the process. And that foul is going to be on Haley Coda. It's her second. Fourth team foul on the Blackhawks. Goodell across the timeline for the Vikings. At the top of the key. Takes it into the lane. Jump stop. Feeds it over to Nichols, and she took an extra step before she put the ball to the floor. That one did look a little bit awkward.
You know who's at number 15? Julie Schwartz got it from Malfolk and from Goodell. But coming out and get a look back.
Put on the floor. Blackhawks.
Oh.
And now they feed it into the lane to Jensen, and a whistle and a foul, and I think it's going to be on Shipman. Shipman kind of grabbed a hold as she tried to spin.
Now the ref missed a travel too, but
Third foul on Shipman. Sixth foul on the Vikings. They feed it into the lane. Ball gets knocked away by the Vikings, and Goodell has it on the left side. Or checked it. That was Bovey. Out to Nichols. Nichols tries to go into the lane. Ball got knocked away. She was trying to go up with it. And here come the Blackhawks. Jensen with it at the top of the key. Feeds it down underneath the Mauer. Lays it up and in.
little run here by Baldwin-Woodville.
Vikings still up by 3. That's 5 unanswered points by Baldwin-Woodville. And the shot goes up, and it goes in by Goodell. 33-28, that's the way you stop a run. They feed it over to Jensen on the left side. Down underneath the Mauer. Tries to do the baseline pass, and it got knocked away by the Vikings. And we have a jump ball being called. It's going to be Blackhawk ball. Vikings tried to dribble through traffic that time, and kind of an ill-advised move. So the Blackhawks have it. Fritz back into the game for the Blackhawks. She's at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the right side to Coda, who falls on it. And we have a jump ball being called.
Scrappy there by Kesa Goodell.
So the Vikings have it, 33-28. 9.5 minutes to go. They get it over to Aker. Then a shot by Nichols, in and out, no good. Hajdukovic with the offensive board. Over to Nichols, and she got the ball knocked away. And I believe there's going to be a foul on Carroll.
Her second.
And the 5th foul. Bovey inbounds it out high to Goodell. She's got it between the circles, takes it down the lane, puts it up. It goes in. The shot's going to count. And she gets to go to the line for the +1. The foul's going to be on Haley Coda.
15 points so far for Kesa Goodell.
This is the 3rd personal on Coda. More importantly, it's the 6th on the Blackhawks. Both teams have 6, which means both teams will be in the bonus from here on out. Free throws up and off the iron. Blackhawks come away with it. Carroll feeds it over to Fritz. And then they try to feed it down underneath, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, good job by number 24, Lyric Nichols, to get in there and knock it away.
Aker takes a seat as Shipman comes back in. Blackhawks with it. Top of the key, Jort. Shot's no good. Rebound tipped around, and tipped around. And we have a whistle. I think they're going to get Hajdukovic.
They're going to get Kesa Goodell.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, I had it half right then.
Yeah,
Hajdukovic is 4-4. Goodell's 4.
I thought it was a 50-50 ball there, but.
First foul on Goodell. And it's going to send Castell to the line for the 1-on-1. The shot's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Hajdukovic got up high that time and got it. Got it over to Goodell. Feeds it over to Bovey, who spins in the lane, loses the handle on the ball. Coda with it. Tries to feed it into the lane. Shot goes up by Borchert. 35-30. Vikings on top. 8:15 remaining. Bovey with it. Tries to feed it down underneath. She thought Shipman was going to break the baseline and fed it that way, but Shipman had other ideas. Long shot up and no good by the Blackhawks. And coming in, we got a foul underneath by Hajdukovic. That was a long shot by Caro, and then she followed her shot, ended up getting it back, and then ran into Hajdukovic trying to lay it up. So she's going to be at the line for 2. That's the second foul on Hajdukovic. First shot's up and good. Sikora checking in for Hajdukovic. Trinity Caro at the line. Second shot on the way, and it's good. Vikings lead has been cut to 3.
Yeah, Colfax has to get down here and try to get in their half-court set here and get a decent look.
And don't be in too much of a hurry. Goodell feeds it over to the left side. That's Nichols. Feeding it down underneath to Sikora. Sikora gets double teamed, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. And that foul is going to be on Maggie Jensen. That's her first, but it's the 7th team foul. So Bryn Sikora goes to the line for 1-and-1. The shot is up, and it's good. And the second shot. That's also good.
Bryn Sikora's got 2 points now tonight.
And she takes a seat.
Yeah, they'll have to use her sparingly. She's got 4 fouls.
Hajdukovic is back in. Driving into the lane, passing it off. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by Nichols. She gets it off to Goodell. That was a good, tough battle by Nichols that time. Over to the corner to Hajdukovic, launches it, no good. Rebound, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul being called on Shipman.
Yeah, and that'll probably be 4 on her. Yeah, her hand just kind of got caught in there and drew the foul.
Herbert checking in. And going to the line is Kylie Castell for the Blackhawks. First shot is up, and it's good. Off the back of the iron and down through. Second shot is up. That's also good. And we have a timeout on the floor. Vikings leading 37-34, 7:15 remaining. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Menominee Eye Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personal.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. Michael Christensen on the camera. And the Vikings have the ball and a 3-point lead. 7:12 remaining. Goodell across the timeline. Feeds it over to Nichols. Nichols on the dribble, brings it over around to the left side, gives it to Bovey. Bovey at the top of the key. Chasing it down is Goodell. Lost the handle before she went across the timeline, and Hurlburt, or not Hurlburt, but Hajdukovic chased it down. Gets it to Goodell. Shot is no good. And rebound coming down the floor are the Blackhawks. Cota with it between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side. That's Jensen. Back to Cota, high, wide, and left. She's kind of directing traffic and basically threw that one away, but it was tipped by the Vikings.
Good job by Claire Hajdukovic to deny that.
So the pass comes in to Castell. She takes it over on the left side, tries to feed it into the lane, knocked away by Hajdukovic. They fight for it. And Castell comes up with it, feeds it down underneath. They're going to get a whistle and a foul. Foul's going to be on Nichols, as Jort was driving in for the layup. So Cota, take that. She was driving in for the layup. Shot goes up and good. (37-35), Vikings on top. Cota's second shot on the way. Off the air, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound, gets it to Goodell. Goodell holds up a 5. Spins, looking for help. Gets it out to Nichols, and we're going to get a whistle underneath, away from the ball.
Or Bovey got tangled up with Carroll there.
And Carroll gets the foul. So Bovey goes to the line for the 1-on-1.
Third foul for Carroll.
That's the 8th foul on the Blackhawks. First shot's up and good. .550 remaining. Second shot on the way. It's also good. Vikings have 10 fouls on them, so the Blackhawks are in the double bonus. And they have the ball. Carroll feeds it down underneath, and it gets away from them. She was intending it for Jensen. Just out of the reach of Jensen, and it's out of bounds, so the Vikings have it. Full court pressure being put on by the Blackhawks. They feed it over to Bovey. Bovey cross-court pass over to Goodell. Takes it on the left side, puts it up, and it won't go in. Rebound being fought for underneath, and it's out of bounds. And it's going to be Viking ball. Sikora back in for Hajdukovic. And the ball comes in to Goodell. To Sikora out between the circles. Over to the right side to Shipman. Shipman drives down towards the baseline. Gets it back out to Bovey. Bovey puts it up and good. It's a 2-pointer. She was just inside the arc. 41-25, Vikings back up by 6.
12 points for Bovey.
Under 5 minutes remaining.
Coda feeds it down underneath to Jensen, puts it up. It won't roll in, and the Vikings come away with it. Down the floor comes Goodell. She's high, wide, and right. Feeds it over to Bovey. Then to Shipman, and we're going to get a whistle. Foul on the Blackhawks. It's going to send Bovey to the line. And that's the fourth foul on Coda. First shot by Bovey is up. No good. It's got to be just about the first one she's missed tonight.
She's 2 for 4.
Blackhawks have it. Coda slipped, but managed to get the ball off. And now Jensen has it. Out to Caro at the top of the key. And to Caro driving into the lane. We're going to get a whistle and a foul called on Nichols. As Castell, or check that, as Caro was driving in. First shot is up, and it's no good. Second shot. That one's good. 41-36, the Vikings on top. Bovey with the ball in the backcourt. Takes it up across the timeline, being closely guarded. Feeds it to Sikora. Over to Shipman. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound. Fought for hard that time by Sikora. She's double-teamed, and we get a timeout called by the Vikings. So with a timeout on the floor, it's the Vikings 41, Blackhawks 36, as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Looking for a team approach to managing your finances? With over 70 years of experience and 12 locations, Dairy State Bank has built a reputation for helpful customer service and support. While our service ethic is old-fashioned, our products and services are not. We offer a full range of loan programs as well as online banking, mobile deposit, and transaction alerts to fit your busy lifestyle. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Back here at Colfax High School, Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Michael Christensen, and the Vikings are on top in a pretty tight one, a 5-point game with 3:46 remaining. 41-36, Vikings have the ball under their own basket. And the pass comes into Bovey. Bovey gets it over to Nichols. To Shipman. Shipman between the circles. To Goodell. Driving into the lane, put it up, and I think they're going to get her with a travel as she dragged that foot before she put the ball up.
Yeah, they had something drawn up there and almost made it work.
Blackhawks have it between the circles. They feed it over to the left side to Coda. Coda one dribble, picks up her dribble, then gets it over to Castell, and down underneath, and we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a foul on Bovey.
Everybody wanted a jump ball there.
Yeah, the Colfax fans weren't very happy with that. It's going to put Coda to the line for 2 as they're in the double bonus. First shot's up and off the front of the iron. Vikings will be in the double bonus next time they go to the line as well. Coda's second shot. It's on the way. Around and out. Shipman with the rebound. Feeds it to Bovia quickly across the timeline. Down into the corner to Nichols. Drives the baseline. Feeds it underneath the Sikora. Puts the shot up and it goes in. Bryn Sikora with the shot.
4 points for Sikora.
Down the floor come the Blackhawks. Jort. She feeds it over to Jensen. Jensen to the free throw line. Gets it out to Carroll. Carroll feeds it down underneath. Shot by Jort. Goes up and in. 43-38.
First 2 points for Haley Jort.
Down the floor, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Sikora was trying to pass it off, and stepping in underneath was Jort.
Yeah,
that should send Sikora to the line for 2.
Yeah, Baldwin wanted the charge, but she was in the air and swatting, so that wouldn't have been a charge.
Bryn Sikora to shoot 2. First one's up, and it's good. Dan, was that what you call a shooter's roll?
That's right. Round and round it down.
Second shot on the way. That one's good. Nothing but net that time.
Yeah, Brandon Sikora is 4 for 4 from the line tonight.
45-38. Vikings up by 7. Coming up on 2:20 remaining. Blackhawks with it. High, wide, and left. Coda tried to drive into the lane. Ball got stripped away from her, and the Vikings come back down the floor. Goodell with it. Over to Bovey. High, wide, and right. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. That's going to be a foul on Trinity Carroll.
Yeah, they're going to have to start using some fouls.
That's 4 fouls on Carroll. And sending Jordan Bovey to the line. And the first one hits the rim and goes off. Minute 58 remaining. Second shot on the way. That one's also no good. Vikings by 7. Jort with it, taking it over to the left side. She's on the left wing. Back out to the top of the key to Coda. Shot's no good. Rebound tipped around. Coming away with it are the Blackhawks. Jort with it. She's on the dribble. Gets it over to Jensen in the lane. Feeds it down underneath. To Carroll. Puts it up and it's no good. Trinity Carroll, 5'11". Sophomore. Bovey. Over to Nichols. Out to Goodell. Then to Sikora, and we're going to get a whistle.
Calls on number 11, Trinity Carroll. That'll be
Should be it for her. And it is. That's number 5 for Trinity Carroll. How many points is that for her tonight?
Shit's up with 12 points.
So a pretty good night, but she fouls out with 1:12 to go, and Sierra Shipman goes to the line, shooting 2. First shot's up, and it's no good. Second shot of the double bonus. That one's good. 46-38, Vikings on top. Jort with it. Driving down and they got tied up. And it'll be Blackhawk ball. Jort didn't like getting tied up too much that time.
Yeah, it's been tougher.
The pass to Jensen.
Tougher in the second half, both teams.
And they feed it out to Maurer, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken away by Coda. Coda with a three on the way, in and out, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings and taken away right away by Jort. And she put it in for the Blackhawks. 46-40, under a minute to go. Goodell with it. Down the floor, feeds it down underneath, and trying to go up with it is Shipman. And she got fouled.
She's going to foul by number 23.
That's Maggie Jensen. I'll check that. She got fouled by number 15.
Okay. And she's going to follow up.
And she is. Jort fouls out.
She ends up with 4 points tonight.
Taking their time figuring out the replacement. And coming in is Kylie Castell. So Shipman to shoot 2. 33.5 seconds left. First shot's up off the back of the iron, no good. And we have a timeout being called by the Blackhawks. So with a timeout on the floor, you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
NLWN-2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School boys basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came here for!
Our first game of the season will be on Tuesday, November 26th, when the Vikings play host to the McDonnell Central Max. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on Tuesday, November 26th.
NLWN-TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next Girls Vikings game will be on Thursday, December 5th, when the Vikings take on the Boysville Bulldogs from Colfax High School. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on Thursday, December 5th on NLWN-TV.
33.5 seconds remaining in this one. Vikings on top, 46-40. Sierra Shipman at the line. Shooting 2. First shot. That's good. That's a second of 2. 47-40. Blackhawks bring it across the line. Castell with it. Feeds it out high. Long three-pointer by Fritz is no good. Came up short, went out of bounds, and the Vikings will have it. Just over 20 seconds remaining. Sikora. Feeded in. Ball got tipped by Coda. Shot goes up, no good. Second shot goes up and in. That was by Fritz. And the Vikings bring it in. We get a whistle and a foul. And so we'll walk the long way down the floor. The foul is going to be on Shannon Fritz. It's her second. And it sends Jordan Bovey to the line. First shot is up. That one's good. And the second shot. That one's good. 49-42, the Vikings on top. They bring it down the floor. The Blackhawks shot goes up by Coda. It comes up short and goes out of bounds. Evidently got partially blocked by the Vikings. Coda to inbound it. Pass comes in, shot goes up, it's no good, and that'll be the final score. With the Vikings coming out on top, 49-42. And we'll have more about this one in Viking postgame And I'm hoping we get a chance to talk to Coach Sarar, and we'll have all that coming up right after this timeout on NLWN.
Are you having fun?
Hello there, Vincent the Turkey here. You know that Thanksgiving is a time for gathering together. If I get to Thanksgiving without becoming someone's main course, I would like to invite you and yours to gather with me for our Thanksgiving Gathering 2024. We have gathered some of the best Thanksgiving-themed old-time radio programs from the golden age of radio, just to share with you. That's a Thanksgiving gathering on YouTube, NLWN-TV, or NLWN-2. Because we don't want to interrupt your viewing of the Packers versus Miami game Thanksgiving evening. Our Thanksgiving gathering will be on Friday, November 29th, beginning at 7 p.m. on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Well, Dan, this was a little better result for the Vikings than on Tuesday over at Regis. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought tonight the Regis night, they're trying to get into their offense, kind of push, and I think that kind of tired them out. Tonight, they used their defense to keep them in this game. They didn't shoot the greatest, but it was enough. Their defense had some turnovers, and they made free throws at the right time to get the win.
It was an example of aggressiveness is what I saw. And I see Coach Sarar coming up, so we're going to get ready to talk to her right away here. And because I'm sure she's much happier with this result than last week. Oh, she's going to climb the fence and everything. Holy cow. I'm impressed, climbing over the fence and everything. Well, congratulations. That was a pretty nice win, a scrappy fight tonight.
Yeah, our kids battle. They really show that they can defend, and that really keeps us in the games. And, Baldwin is a great team, and Holly does a good job with them. And they're going to, put up a stance in that middle border, and this was a great win.
Well, and they are a team that went to state last year, and as we talked in the pregame show, they returned most of their roster from a state tournament team, and their girls went out and battled them tooth and nail.
Yeah, they did. I was really impressed with, our energy and effort. We just looked, so much quicker than we did on Tuesday, so much more into it and in tune. And, some of that was, it was our first game on Tuesday. And, maybe some of tonight was that it was Baldwin's first game too, so, but I thought we looked just more crisp than we did on Tuesday. We did a lot of good things. We ran our offense well. We boxed and rebounded well for the most part. So, but mostly I was just impressed with our, determination. There were some times that second half, we had some kids in foul trouble, but we didn't give up and we battled through their run. And I was happy to see us come out with the win.
Yeah, in fact, you played pretty tough defense throughout most of the night, holding their girls down. And they had a couple kids had decent nights, but overall, they never had much for clean shots, and everything was contested.
Yeah, for sure. We never gave them an easy look, which is, what we want to happen. And, we made some shots too and had some easier looks around the hoop, which is always good to see.
It was good to see. I almost called her Jeanette, Clara Hajdukovic, really start to make her presence felt under the rim tonight. She battled hard, and it was something we kept saying on Tuesday. Where's Clara? Where's Clara? Well, tonight she showed herself.
Yeah, Clara did some really good things. And, similar to her sister, she's, capable of, changing kids' shots. And we need her to be just a little bit more aggressive. But defensively, she's shown that she's developing great instincts and knows when to be there and everything. So I was really happy about that.
And I was kind of impressed with the hustle with Derek Nichols for a freshman. She's out there just playing.
Yeah, for sure. We've thrown Lyric to the dogs for sure. We're not very deep, and she's really shown that she can put up some points in the JV, and then also come and help us in the varsity. She's just a smart kid. Her IQ is great, and we're gonna need her to continue to look for herself to score a little bit more, and bring that piece to the table. But otherwise, yeah, she's been doing really well.
And of course, your leadership between Kaysen and Sierra, and Jordan, those three just solid nights as we kind of come to expect from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Kaysen's always, so level-headed and nothing really gets her riled up. And, that's what you need in a senior captain. And, between Sierra, Bryn and Jordan, they're just, they round out a great, experienced bunch. And I was really proud of Bryn. I knew she was disappointed for, that she, lacked some minutes again because of fouls. But, down the stretch when we needed, baskets, she was the one to make a huge hoop for us. She made 2 huge free throws that kind of cushioned our lead a little bit. So I was happy that, she responded the way she did.
So coming up just after Thanksgiving, you guys step into conference play with the Boyceville Bulldogs. What are you expecting there from the Bulldogs?
I think they have a brand new, kind of roster. They have a lot of good younger kids. So I'm anxious to see, how they play, and we'll hopefully give them a good game. So.
Well, congratulations on tonight's win, 49-42. Congratulations. Win number 1. Let's get a bunch more. And we'll be back with more Viking postgame right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Back here at Colfax High School where the Vikings came out on top, 49-42. Dan, why don't you tell us how we got here?
Yeah, here's the scores tonight for the Blackhawks, Baldwin-Woodville. They had lots of girls in scoring position. Their leader tonight was number 11, Trinity Carroll. She had 12 points, followed by Katie Burchett. She had 2. We had Ashlyn Maurer with 5. We had Shannon Fritz with 4. Kylie Castle had 2. We had Maggie Jensen with 8. Haley Jert had 4. And Haley Coda had 6. For the Colfax Vikings, they were led tonight by number 4, Kaysen Goodell. She had 15 points, followed by Jordan Bovey with 13. We had Sierra Shipman with 11. We had Bryn Sikora with 6. And Clara Hajdukovic had 4. 49-42. Colfax gets the win.
So the Colfax Vikings go to 1-1 on the season as they get ready to step into conference play on the 5th. Dan, your thoughts about this one?
Yeah, I think as they're going along, the first, I would say probably the first 3, 4, 5 games, this is kind of a new team. And so everybody's got to find their new role this year. And they all got to start to gel together. And they'll start to do that as the season goes along here. And you'll kind of get your roles. And it'll be fun to watch this team grow as the season goes along.
Well, we're going to get a chance to watch this team grow if you join us on Thursday, December 5th, right here on NLWN-TV as we bring you the Colfax Viking Girls Basketball as the Vikings open their Dunn St. Croix Conference season by taking on the Boyceville Bulldogs from right here at Colfax High School. Our coverage begins with Viking pregame beginning at 6:40, followed by the live play-by-play action. Can't wait that long for basketball? Well, then join us coming up this next Tuesday, November 26th on NLWN-2 as we bring you Colfax Viking boys basketball. They will open their 2024-2025 season by hosting the very tough McDonald Central Max. Our coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play action. Hey, don't forget to join us on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2 for our annual Thanksgiving gathering, where we bring you some of the finest Thanksgiving-themed old-time radio programs. This year, we'll be featuring the Abbott and Costello Show, the Harold Perry Show, the Life of Riley, and the Mel Blanc Show. Now, this year, we'll air our Thanksgiving gathering on Friday, November 29th, so you can still watch the Packer game on Thursday night. That's a Thanksgiving gathering 2024 on both NLWN-TV and NLWN-2 on Friday, November 29th at 7 p.m. Coming up on January 6th, the Northern Light Webcasting Network will broadcast our 500th event. Be sure to stay tuned for special announcements and special awards for our loyal viewers. That's all coming up January 6th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Hey, tonight's Colfax High School basketball game has been brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors. Do a little business with them, because they're what brings you Colfax Viking basketball on NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow and Mike Christensen on the camera, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, Vikings come out on top, 49 over the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks, 42. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.